Have you ever wondered whether you should be using a comma or a semicolon? The truth is, it doesn't matter. And worrying about writing rules like that will only hold you back from what really counts, which is writing sentences that capture the minds and hearts of your readers. So in this video, I'm going to show you why focusing on grammar is wrecking your sentences, the thing that you need to focus on instead, and 3 simple writing exercises that my writing students practice daily to write better sentences in any style, whether academic, creative, social, or professional. But don't just take my word for it. Here's one of the greatest writers of the 21st century explaining exactly how he writes such powerful sentences. Don Delillo told the Paris Review that the basic work of being a writer is built around the sentence. This is what I mean when I call myself a writer. I construct sentences. There's a rhythm I hear that drives me through the sentence, and the words typed have a sculptural quality. This approach to writing by working at the sentence level is exactly what led Don Delillo to develop this genius writing technique that I've never seen anyone else talk about before. And if you want to start practicing it today, then I've left a free practice sheet for you down below the like button. But before we start practicing, I need to tell you about the most important thing that writers should be focusing on instead. And funny enough, this lesson didn't come from a fellow writer, but from a friend of mine who's actually a professional painter, which is a pretty cool job. So one day I asked him, how did you become a painter? Were you born with it? Were you inspired by some masterpiece? Have you always dreamed of having your work hung in a gallery? And it was funny, he was painting at the time and he kind of paused and looked up from his canvas and said, I just like the smell of paint. I had to think about that for a second, but then it clicked. To become a painter, you don't start with some grand vision of hanging your masterpiece in the Louvre. You start with a love for the raw material, the paint. And it's the same for writers. You don't become a writer by wanting to be one. You become a writer because you love the basic material. Now, for painters, that's paint. So for writers, it must be words, right? Well, not quite. You see, words of expect, make, can't, sense, and stack just to you bunched together them any. Oh, I'm sorry. What I meant to say was, you can't just stack a bunch of words together and expect them to make any sense. It's the relationships between the words that creates meaning. So if you like words, then go write a dictionary. But if you want to be a writer, then it's time to get obsessed with sentences. Some writers I know keep lists of words that they come across, but they would be much better off keeping lists of sentences that stand out to them, almost like a bird watcher. You should be on the lookout in your reading for any sentences with new or startling patterns. Keep track of them and start to get curious about them. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't this just an English professor's sneaky way of trying to get me interested in grammar? Come on, tell the truth. Is this broccoli in my ice cream? Well, no. Au contraire, mon frère. Seriously, when it comes to writing a great sentence, grammar is completely beside the point. Think about it this way. If I asked you to name the best meal that you ever had, what would it be? Take a second here to think about that meal. What stands out? What do you remember? For me, it was the dinner that I had on the last night of a trip that I took to Norway in a town called Bergen. So I was following the advice of an old guidebook. So I started at this really cozy pub where I met some friendly locals, and honestly, I could have stayed there all night. But the guidebook promised this incredible restaurant on the top floor of a nearby hotel. So eventually I was feeling excited and a little bit tipsy, so I left the pub and headed over to the hotel. But when I got there, I found out that the restaurant had been replaced by a sushi spot, which is not exactly what I was craving after all the fresh seafood that I eat here in Korea. So I was a little bit disappointed, and I struck up a conversation with the hotel receptionist. Told him about my situation, and he got really excited. He said that he knew the perfect place for authentic Norwegian cuisine. So he made one quick phone call, and a few minutes later, he scored me a reservation at this hidden gem, this tiny little restaurant around the corner. Now, of course, everyone's answer will be different here, but more than likely, your answer to this question would be more or less the same. You'd probably tell me the time, the place, who you were with, and when you ate it. You probably wouldn't think to mention the ingredients, the utensils, the cooking techniques that were used to prepare the meal. Come to think about it, I hardly even remember the exact dishes that I ate that night, except for the reindeer. I remember that. You Norwegians, I must admit, you cook a fine reindeer. The point is that yes, without those ingredients, the meal would not exist. But those are not the things that made the meal exceptional. And it's the same thing with great sentences. Sure, grammar and vocabulary are the necessary ingredients, but you can't write a great sentence by following a recipe. And to prove to you that even a bad sentence can be considered great in the right context, listen to this. Alright, so what happened was I had included this sound clip of a Beatles cover song. Anyway, the point was that it was a good song by the Beatles, Hey Jude, but the band played it badly. The problem is, when I uploaded it, I got a copyright strike. So I guess you're gonna have to take my word for it here? Oh, that's bad. It's so bad it's good. This is a cover of the song Hey Jude. It appeared on a radio show called The Annoying Music Show. These songs stink. They're objectively bad. They break all the laws of music composition, but they're also great. And the thing that makes bad music great is not the notes and the harmony. It's the way they work against the context to achieve their intended effect. The point of playing these covers is not to enjoy them as music, but to create a clash in your mind. And that clash is really funny, which works perfectly for The Annoying Music Show. Writing works the same way. Great sentences are successful sentences. They achieve their intended effect, and they match the reader's expectations. Readers don't read in order to admire grammar. They read because they want to better understand the world, and great sentences are great because they open a window onto the world, showing the reader something true and beautiful that they had never seen before. And if that's true, that great sentences open a window onto the world, then all this rule-based writing advice that we find out there is like a complex set of IKEA instructions for how to build the window frame. When it comes to writing great sentences, grammar is completely beside the point. So when you're writing, instead of focusing on grammar, ask yourself, what am I trying to do with this sentence? What do I want the reader to see? Speaking of music, tell me if you heard this one before. There was this musician in New York who was looking for directions to a famous music hall. And so he stops a lady on the street and asks, "Excuse me, how do I get to Carnegie Hall?" And the woman says, "Young man, you have to practice, practice, practice." I always thought it was easier to be a musician than a writer. Musicians don't need to be creative geniuses every day. They can just show up and practice the scales. But writers, we don't have scales. We just have to sit there with a blank page. But what if writers actually do have scales? How would that transform your writing practice? If you're not writing because you feel like you have to be totally inspired every time you sit down to write, then you've got to try out this writing practice. Here is a famous sentence that means absolutely nothing. Colorless green ideas sleep furiously. This sentence comes from the linguist Noam Chomsky, who used it as an example of a sentence that is perfectly grammatical, but total nonsense. It's like a vase without any flowers in it. It's grammatical because it has the right kinds of words in the right order. But of course, it's nonsense because, well, it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't make sense for ideas to be green or for green ideas to be colorless, and ideas don't sleep, so they certainly can't sleep furiously. Still, writers would be better off practicing writing nonsense sentences like this than the following. Furiously sleep ideas green colorless. Those words are all flowers, no vase. Each word means something, but they have no relationship with each other, no structure holding them together. And we can't learn anything from writing sentences like this. If you want to practice writing great sentences, then it's better to focus on form, not content, structure, not meaning. So if you want to practice the scales, then it's time to play Mad Libs. No, I'm not talking about those Mad Libs. Mad Libs is that classic word game that we used to play as kids. You know, the one where someone asks you to name a random animal, a verb, or a color without giving any context, and then they plug all those words into the blank spaces of a pre-written story, and the result is that you get a brand new story, which is usually hilarious. But what if I told you that Mad Libs is not just a silly childhood game, and in fact, hidden in this game is everything you need to start writing great sentences. Now, to play Great Sentences Mad Libs, you can use any sentence, and I've included 10 that you can start practicing today in the free resource linked down below the like button. But to demonstrate it, I'm gonna use a poem from Lewis Carroll called Jabberwocky. So the original poem is, "'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the momraths outgrabe." And so to play this game, you swap out those words for whatever words you think would fit there. So, for example, if we replace the word brillig, what words could we put there? There are tons of options. "'Twas cold, 'twas early, 'twas Denmark." But there are other words that definitely wouldn't work there. 'Twas would, 'twas the. Same thing goes for the slithy toves. If we wanted to replace that, we could write the misty mountains, the colorful balloons, the hungry wolves, the shimmering stars. But there are other words that just would not work. The color balloons, the shimmer stars, the colorful hungry, the misty shimmering. That's the great thing about this exercise. You don't need to know what the grammar rules are. You know them automatically, and just practicing with them like this is enough. And just like playing the piano scales, playing Mad Libs like this is a great way to develop your comfort with the forms that underlie great sentences. Only it's better than that, because practicing with forms like this isn't just mechanical repetition like it is with the piano scales. It actually produces new sentences. And this is exactly what Don Delillo means when he says that being a writer means being a sentence sculptor, which is why he developed this technique for writing. When I finished writing a paragraph, he said, even a 3-line paragraph, I automatically went to a fresh page to start the new paragraph. No crowded pages. This enabled me to see a given set of sentences more clearly. Delillo understands that great writing happens at the sentence level, but the thing is, nobody buys tickets to Carnegie Hall to listen to a musician practice the scales. So what do you do when you develop your chops and you're ready to move on to writing meaningful content? Well, to make your meaning stand out in a way that readers will love, watch this video next, because it's going to show you 4 features of reader psychology that you can use to make your writing simple and clear, which is the key to great writing. So be sure to go check it out.